Meet Erik. Like many of us, Erik feels trapped in a world of online vigilance where the pressure to be always on is a constant psychological weight. This is known as the mobile connectivity paradox. The very tools Erik uses to stay connected are the same ones that make him feel like he's lost his independence. We feel an urgent need to check every notification, yet we resent how it fragments our time and prevents deep relaxation. Over the next 10 minutes, we're going to follow Erik's journey through the data to see if a digital detox is actually the cure-all it's claimed to be, or if something more nuanced is required to flourish in a networked world. Erik started digging into the numbers and found them staggering. 90% of American adults now own smartphones. The average user is spending nearly 5 hours every single day staring at their screen, with social media accounting for roughly half of that time. For Erik, these weren't just abstract statistics. They explain the brain rot and constant fatigue he felt after a long day of scrolling through content. Research shows that heavy media multitasking is linked directly to increased attentional lapses and memory failures in our daily lives. The data Erik found regarding mental health was even more sobering. American teens and young adults who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media face double the risk of experiencing poor mental health outcomes, including symptoms of depression and anxiety. This is often driven by FOMO, fear of missing out, and the comparison culture where users constantly weigh their lives against idealized, picture-perfect versions of others. For Erik, understanding that social media acts as an incubator for distorted self-perceptions was a wake-up call to change his digital consumption patterns. Beyond his mood, Erik noticed his body was paying the price. Prolonged screen time causes digital eye strain, resulting in headaches and blurred vision. He also learned about tech neck, the physical strain on the spine caused by constantly looking down at a device. Most importantly, the blue light from his phone was suppressing melatonin production, making it harder for Erik to fall asleep and significantly reducing the quality of his rest. This state of hypervigilance meant his brain was never truly getting the chance to recharge. To find a real solution, Erik looked at a massive systematic meta-analysis of 10 experimental studies involving over 4,600 participants. The researchers aimed to see if the digital detox hype actually lived up to its promise of boosting life satisfaction. The results were unexpected. They revealed no significant effects of temporary social media abstinence on positive affect or long-term happiness for the average person. Erik realized that a short-term break might not be a cure-all if habits aren't fundamentally changed, as the benefits can be canceled out by boredom or social exclusion. Erik didn't lose hope, because the meta-analysis had a crucial caveat. While the average user might see a neutral result, individuals with problematic smartphone use or those feeling high levels of stress see massive gains. In these cases, taking a break is like lifting a 900-pound gorilla off your back. For people like Erik who felt a compulsive need to check their phones, the detox was not about a temporary fix, but about reclaiming mental clarity and breaking the cycle of dopamine-driven reinforcement. For the first step of our live demo, Erik performs the most important task, making the invisible visible. Most people are notoriously inaccurate when they try to self-report how much they use their phones. Erik opens his phone settings to navigate to screen time. He looks at his daily average and his pickups, the number of times he instinctively grabs his phone. By tracking this for a full week, Erik identifies his behavioral triggers, such as reaching for the phone during a boring commute or to avoid a difficult work task. Next, Erik sets countable goals. He doesn't have to quit cold turkey to see results. In fact, limiting social media to just 30 minutes a day for 3 weeks has been proven to significantly decrease depression. Erik goes into his app settings and set a hard timer for the platforms that cause him the most stress, typically Instagram or TikTok. This design friction is essential because it forces Erik to stop and think before he continues scrolling mindlessly. Even when he occasionally exceeds the limit, the effort to self-limit makes a measurable difference in his well-being. Finally, Erik restructures his environment by creating physical no-phone zones. He starts by charging his phone outside the bedroom overnight, which is crucial for sleep hygiene. Without the temptation of a late-night scroll, Eric's brain can finally transition into a relaxed state. He also designates the dining table as a tech-free area to prioritize face-to-face interactions. These physical barriers act as stumbling blocks for automatic habits, forcing Erik to be mindfully present in the real world. When Erik follows these steps, the psychological rewards are measurable and rapid. A landmark study published in JAMA Network Open found that after just 1 week of a social media detox, young adults experienced a 16% drop in anxiety and a nearly 25% reduction in depression. These improvements are comparable to established clinical treatments like cognitive behavioral therapy. For Erik, this break lifted that 900-pound gorilla off his back, granting him the mental clarity he didn't even know he was missing. He feels meaningfully less stressed and more satisfied with his reality. Perhaps most surprisingly, Erik's brain actually begins to physically reset. Research reveals that blocking mobile internet for just 2 weeks can improve objectively measured sustained attention by a magnitude equivalent to being 10 years younger. Erik finds he can finally focus on a single task without the itch to check his feed. He also gains an average of 20 to 45 minutes of extra sleep per night because he's no longer suppressing his melatonin. This neurophysiological reset allows his prefrontal cortex to regain control over his impulses, giving him a massive competitive edge in a distracted world. Erik's journey isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice of mindful presence. It's about finding your digital sweet spot, that perfect balance where technology enhances your life without undermining it. By intentionally unplugging, you aren't just leaving the digital world, you are tuning in to the richness of the human experience. If you're ready to reclaim your focus and health, subscribe to our channel today. We provide the evidence-based insights you need to master your digital well-being and reclaim your human flourishing. Mastering social media use is like taming a wild garden. With the right tools and regular pruning, it becomes a place of growth rather than a tangled mess.